Hello everyone, Justin from Out of the Basement here, and today we're going to be going over what I think is the biggest, no-brainer, easiest, most simple Black Series retool, reuse, repaint figure that Hasbro could release for the line. I'm a little shocked that this hasn't been announced or anything yet because it seems like such a big no-brainer, but we're going to go over that, my reasoning why I think it's a no-brainer, and some history stuff, so let's just jump right into it. A few years ago, I believe it was 2017, Charles Soule, our favorite Star Wars comic writer, released Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith, which just generally speaking, if you have not read the canon Star Wars Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith, Charles Soule comic, we highly recommend reading it. It's only 25 issues. It takes place right after, immediately after Revenge of the Sith, from, of course, Vader's perspective. We highly recommend this stuff. There's actually tons of connections with like Jedi Fallen Order in here that I'll talk about, so highly recommend reading this. One specific thing that this comic does is expand upon the Inquisitor lore, which I really like. The Inquisitors were, of course, introduced in Star Wars Rebels. This comic also introduced the idea of the Purge Trooper, these Imperial troopers that were specifically trained to combat Jedi. They were originally in this comic before appearing in Jedi Fallen Order. Now, the Purge Troopers in this comic, which again takes place right after Revenge of the Sith, were initially clone troopers. We see that in the comic when they are tricked into executing Order 66 on a handful of Inquisitors who are all ex-Jedi. Later, when you actually play the Jedi Fallen Order game, it takes place 5 years after Revenge of the Sith, and you can pretty easily tell that they've been replaced by just regular people. They're not clones, they're not voiced by D. Bradley Baker or Tamara Morrison. Which makes sense, since, they kind of saw that flaw when they executed Order 66 on the Inquisitors. This comic book also introduces the 9th Sister Inquisitor and the character design for the 2nd Sister Inquisitor, both of which also appear in Jedi Fallen Order. So these troopers were given under the command of Vader and other Inquisitors. So there's that connection with this comic and Jedi Fallen Order. Now in Jedi Fallen Order, they were one of the harder enemies to fight. They weren't just your regular stormtroopers or scout troopers. These were troopers specifically trained to combat Jedi. So I really enjoyed that mechanic of the game. I really enjoyed this enemy. And of course, it was released with the deluxe version of the game back in last November, so almost 1 year ago. So this is actually one of my holy grail finds. I just randomly found this at a GameStop. One of my favorite Black Series find stories. So that's awesome that I picked this up. There's also another one from the Gaming Greats that comes with like the Electro Staff. So we have these Purge Trooper, right? They're obviously modeled after a certain clone from the films in Revenge of the Sith, the 212th Airborne, aka Paratrooper. This trooper from Revenge of the Sith that has the exact same helmet design. Now that brings us to the easiest retool, reuse that they can do, in my opinion, and something that I highly desire is that 212th Airborne Trooper from Revenge of the Sith. I was a little surprised that they didn't immediately reuse that helmet, since at the time this could have been a complete repaint. Now, I do not want this to be a complete repaint of the Purge Trooper. What I think they can do, similar to what they're doing with the Attack of the Clones clone trooper in Wave 27, is use the new clone body. Just take a new clone body, put the Purge Trooper helmet on it, give it the correct paint scheme, add a skirt, 212th Paratrooper. There you go. Now, I specifically do want this on the new clone body, and they're doing that with the Attack of the Clones clone troopers. So I know they've been doing the head and then the helmet on the head mold, but for this one, they can make that an exception, Since this Purge Trooper helmet is not designed to have an actual head under it, they can make an exception and just use a ball joint like they have in the past. I think this is one of the easiest Black Series figures Hasbro could make. They have the new clone body. They obviously plan on using it a lot. We have the Kamino security clone, we have the 332nd Ahsoka clone trooper coming, and then we also have the new Attack of the Clones Phase 1 trooper. So they have the new clone body, they have this helmet from the Purge Trooper. All they need to do a little retool, a little reuse, paint it, and you have your 212th trooper. I will also say, I want that skirt. I want that skirt. These 212th troopers, the scene that pops in my head is when the 212th, after executing Order 66, are searching for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Commander Cody wants a body, and there is just a nameless clone that says something like, "Sir, no one could have survived that fall."
Did you find Kenobi? Sir, no one could have survived that fall.
But they're also seen in the background shots of the Battle of Utapau in Revenge of the Sith as well. I think this could also go hand in hand with the fact that we are getting a Commander Cody in the archive release, and it's highly speculated and highly desired that we get an Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan Kenobi in the archive line, or otherwise re-released with photoreal and hopefully the new Jedi body. So I think there's a theme here, because we're at least getting Commander Cody in the archive line. It kind of goes together with my logic of Hasbro needing to release this figure. It's something, it's super dope. It's something highly desirable in my opinion, because we have this Purge Trooper figure. We have the helmet of the 212th Airborne Trooper. So to me, it seems like such a big no-brainer just to stick that helmet on the new clone body, paint, add the skirt, because I do want that skirt. If they do end up doing this figure, I do want that skirt. They better have that skirt. But still, they've done the skirt before, like with Captain Rex. So I think it'd be pretty easy to just add the skirt on there. And I think it's a pretty easy figure for them to make. And it seems like such a simple, smart thing to do. Because it's a trooper. Give us all the troopers, by the way. And I feel like this trooper would fly off the shelves. I know everyone I know would want one. I know all you guys in the comments and all our subscribers and everyone in the community would want one. So I think it's a good idea. So yeah, that's it. That's my reasoning. We have the Purge Trooper, which has that 212th Clone Trooper, Airborne Trooper head, the helmet. We have the helmet. Just put that new helmet on the new clone body, add a skirt, paint it correctly, and there you go. Seems super simple to me. But as always, I'll pass the question off to you guys. Do you think this would be a good idea? Because I do. But also in the comments, let me know what easy retool / reuse / repaint that Hasbro could do for such a simple, easy, money-making Black Series release that would also be highly desirable to us at the same time. Any thoughts at all, let me know in the comments down below. I'm Justin from Out of the Basement, and we will see you guys in the next video.